Hello everyone, my name's Sam and this is my Liverpool Let's Play. Now this is my boyhood club, this is the club I love and I need to return it to glory, as I can't keep handling the heartbreak, especially with this season with the Champions League. Losing second spot to Man United when we shouldn't have, we should have carried on the pressure. This isn't going to be a Spurs series, put the pressure on. This is going to be a Liverpool win. So here we go. So as people know, we are a club with a lot of history. As a lot of jokes go, we do like to go on about it, but there is a lot of history to go on about. So obviously we've won the league 18 times. That's before the name change. So what was it? 1990, I believe, the last time we won the league. So that is something we definitely is going to be top of our list. Obviously, if we can win a Champions League or an FA Cup in between, that would be class. The more, the merrier. So as we can see from this screen, and financially, we're looking good. We've got 142 million, nearly pushing 143 million in the bank. So money-wise, we're not going to have to worry too much about. That's the lovely thing about being in a big club. If we go onto the debt screen, we can see we have got a bank loan and we have got a gift loan from the chairman. This shouldn't worry us too much, but it would be nice to pay it off because they need to get that stadium named after me. So here we go, we can see we've got a healthy wage budget of nearly 280 million, which is amazing, and our transfer budget is 112. So we're going to use this money. We've been entrusted with it by the owners. We're going to make sure we use that money to just re-blood this team, which is going to be brilliant. A quick look at the facilities, and we all know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with Anfield. We're dealing with a 54,000-seater stadium. One day, like I said, it's going to be the Brooks Stadium, just mark your words. Facility-wise, we do want to increase the youth facilities. While they were excellent, we do want to push this to the best of the best. We want to be bringing as much youth in as possible. Throughout the save, we want to make sure we have an importance on English talent and our own talent, Scouse talent. Looking at the staff, we can see I haven't really done much. With a lot of there's things being Chelsea best. That's not what we want. Arsenal best. We need Liverpool to be best at everything we do. So we're going to have to apologise to Klopp, apologise to his loyalists. We are going to have to push them to the side. We're going to re-blood the staff, and we're going to make sure that we are the best at everything and anything that we do. We will come and have a look after in the next episode to see who I've replaced, and hopefully we'll have a lot of greens and a lot of full staff. As we can see, there are gaps. Free coaching staff, although we will try and ask the board to get another one. Scouting wise, I'm not too worried. With 16 scouts, I think we're okay. Medical staff, there is one thing we're good at, and that is one thing I'm key to maintain good at, because I do like to play a very hard style for my team, where I'm very attack heavy, normally press heavy, but we'll see how that goes. Training wise, so as we can see, we're going to start the season with a balanced mentality on a high intensity. We're not allowing rest after match just because I'm horrible. I just think you don't want to go home, you want to stay on the training pitch, you want to improve. Obviously with important players like Salah, Mane and Firmino, we may make exceptions, but we'll do that manually by clicking on them and allowing them rest, as we don't want any injuries, because an injury in pre-season, as I'm sure you can all agree, is miserable. The first week, however, we are doing fitness on a high, and we will try and get probably a tactical week on a high as well. As you can see, we have set all the individual training instructions up as well. We have them in their best roles, in the roles that are going to increase the stats that I want to increase, and especially with youngsters, this is very important. We've got Joe Gomez up here just for an example, and I've put him as a ball-playing defender. He's young, he can increase them stats, and we just want to increase his passing. While his passing is 12, I want to implement a system, especially with the youngsters, that we can play out of the back and we're all comfortable doing that. And I feel increasing that 12 passing will be vital in doing that. And silly me, I haven't even introduced you to the squad. So this is the squad. As you can see, we are going off the winter update. So we have our Virgil van Dijk, which is going to be a rock throughout this series in making sure that defence is on point. He's a big man at 6'4", and I think his heading and especially his jumping reach, both at 18, is going to be pivotal in defence and playing out of the back. And as we can see, especially with player traits, he does like to bring the ball out of defence, which is very important. I don't necessarily want both of my defenders to do it, especially early on. I would just like him to do it because I trust him. The only other sort of news is we will be trying to get rid of Ragnar Klavan, and I feel kind of bad, but he is 31. While his stats are very good, especially for a ball-playing defender, although his vision is only 11, and we always like that a bit higher on a ball-playing defender, we are going to try and ship him out. We are going to have, like I said, we want the youth to come in, so any chance we can get rid of an old guard and blood the team with someone fresh and young, new, from our academy, we will be doing it. Always the interesting dilemma is the keeper situation. Now, as we can see, we've got Mignolet the green on the left and we've got Karius the blue on the right. Now, I'm hoping to splash the cash and buy a goalkeeper. However, like I've said before, I don't want to buy a lot of players and I don't want to waste all the money on sort of one or two. I'm a fairly sensible manager when I play this. However, goalkeepers, especially with Liverpool, as I've had a little test run, are overly expensive. So we're going to have to make sure, one, we get the right goalkeeper and then try and bring the youth through. Because even the young Danny Ward doesn't cut the mustard and will probably still only be on the same level as these two. Now, if we want to challenge, we are going to probably need to replace them. But again, I just want to watch that money. So the under-23s, and then there's no one that jumps out. There's players like Liam Milner, we'll call him Milner, but they're players like this that, although have 4 stars potential ability, none of their stats really set me on fire. But like I said, we do want to make sure that these youth players, the ones that are coming through, especially with English, with not knowing what's going to happen with Brexit on this save, we're going to bring all these through, and even if we have to sell them for a profit, that is absolutely fine. Liam Coyle looks a bit more tastier. I do like his high determination stat, although normally these stats sort of average out to what the whole team is. So you want a team, especially your senior team, of very determined players, and especially when tutoring, that helps as well. So we will keep an eye on him. The only other player is Mr. Yan himself. We will be keeping an eye on him. I want them to get game time, but at their age, it's important, especially I feel with 18 and plus, any youth player needs game time. So if I can't give them the 10, the 15 game, which I believe is the right amount of time, they need to be going out on loan. Otherwise they're going to be wasted, they're not going to reach their potential, which is going to be a shame for the season. Looking at the under-18s, I mean, there's no one that really jumps out at us. There's obviously Mr. Jones here with 3.5. His stats really don't set me on fire, but we will still develop him. Mr. Williams as well. I don't know why I keep calling him Mr. I'm just trying to be posher than I am. But at least his physicals look a bit tastier. His determination is very, very low. So if we want to take him forward, I feel like he's going to need tutoring straight away. Looking at the tactics screen, and let's be honest, this is what we're here for. This is what we play the game for. This is what I'm looking at rocking early in the season. Obviously, any transfers, this may change, but this is the tactic we're going to go in. The idea is I want to try and create an overload on the right that may make Mane our key player. Now, with Mane's pace at 18, and I believe his acceleration at 18, and his pace at 17, I believe that Firmino can drop down here with the false line position. The attacking centre midfielder, I'm hoping Pusho's up here, but we may change him from Mazzala. And then the Ram Deuter, I want Salah up top. I don't want Salah to come back. I don't want him to have to even think about defending. His stats here with an 18 acceleration and 18 pace, there is blistering pace on these wings, and I want them to just abuse defenders. Apart from that, there's nothing really to tell. We're going with wing backs at the back, and when Van Dijk is in defence, he is going to be a ball-playing defender. Mignolet, the only instructions that we are going to add to him is to distribute to centre-backs and take shorter kicks. And that's just to build from the back or let Van Dijk put in them beautiful balls. Mentality-wise, we've gone attacking and we've gone fluid. With team instructions, we have pushed the defensive line slightly higher. For weaker teams, we may push this further. For stronger teams, we may turn it over. But what I want is an aggressive offside trap to hopefully beat most of the attackers. And we have the defenders with the pace to be able to implement such a system. Pass into spaces, we are a quick team. Shorter passing and work ball into box. The other tactic that we have got is another version upon the first tactic. However, this time Henderson is a half back and will hopefully look at My idea, whether this role will achieve it, I believe it will make a back five. We can also turn him into a deep lining playmaker and make him specifically mark the opposition striker. So when in a defensive transaction, he will fall back into here, marking an either poacher or another player that I feel needs to be shut down. We're going to have Milner as a ball-winning midfielder, and the idea is he is going to be pulled out of position, which is a worry, but he will harass people as Henderson won't be in that role to do so. And as we spoke about, Wijnaldum would be in that Mazzala role to give Salah the support to overload that right-hand side. As a mentality, we would go for a control and a structured. A structured would mean I want everyone to just do their jobs. Team instructions, we don't go with many, but we just go with shorter passing, pass into space, work into box, prevent goalkeeper distribution, and play much narrower this time to hopefully keep that defensive compact shape. Having a quick look at my favourite screen, we will look at the dynamics. As we can see, match cohesion is poor, which is fine because as the pre-season goes on, that will increase and hopefully we can get that up to spec late September. I'm hoping that's at maximum. Then we've got dressing room atmosphere, which is very good, and I hope to keep it like that and even better it. Lastly, we've got managerial support, which is good, and I hope that this rating will result in them trusting me, believing in my system, and going on to do great things. Next up, we've got the hierarchy, and as we can see, Henderson, Milner and Lallana are leading the team leaders. And I think Lallana will end up probably dropping just because he is on a lengthy injury. As we can see, he's out for 6 to 7 months, so I feel his leadership role may drop. We are looking for players, especially like Trent, especially like Van Dijk, to step up to be our leaders, especially for the future. Social group wise, as we can see, we've got a huge core social group, which is good, especially if everyone's happy, but does create problems, especially when you try and get rid of a lot of players early on, which we won't be doing in Season 1. Hopefully Salah and Brewster eventually can make either their own social group or join the others to keep that unity together. Now we're on to the happiness page, which I think is a page that is often overlooked, as most players will moan and say that these happiness ratings have always been the game, which they have, and they are totally right. However, this is a page where you can look at these and you can see problems before they arise, especially with playing times. When you have a big team and a lot of big players, everyone wants to play. Looking at the schedule, and as you can see, I haven't touched anything. I haven't touched any of the pre-season friendlies, and I will leave them alone. I will probably put one more in just against a weaker opponent. Normally I would wipe all these and just put against weaker opponents or very small, and this is just to build morale. But for this save, we will keep it the same. Obviously, we've got Real Madrid and Inter Milan, the last games at Anfield of pre-season. Obviously, we want to win, but that's not the most important thing. Throughout pre-season, we'll be looking at our tactics and how they play out. A win is good, but remember that AI doesn't take friendlies totally seriously. So if you go through pre-season and you beat everyone 7-6-0 and you get to the first game of the Premier League and lose, that's why, because there's something on your tactic that's not working, because now the AI is all guns blazing. So we will be back for the Huddersfield game. I'll just show you while we're on this screen. We will be back for the Huddersfield game at home at Anfield, and we will hopefully know who we were playing in the Champions League Best Place playoff, as Liverpool finished 4th last season, so we will have to qualify for the Champions League, which is a bit of a pain, but that's absolutely fine. We want to get as far in as possible and avoid teams like Hoffenheim, as you know, they are a young team with talent, and teams like Ajax, and hopefully we can get a good draw. This is Liverpool, and this is the save. Now, throughout this save, I will be making additional guide videos, so if there is anything that anyone would like me to show you, then that's absolutely fine. I can do a separate video, just leave it in the comments. I will be doing certain guide videos, especially on training and promoting youth, as this save is going to be very focused on producing youth, but not to the point where we can't buy talent. We need to win at the end of the day. Anyway, I've been me, you've been you. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.